Am I the problem? If you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you've asked this question. Probably at 3 a.m. Probably after an argument where you started out raising a concern and ended up defending your entire character. This video is the last video in the Real Stories series, and I want to answer this question as honestly as I can. Not to reassure you, not to tell you what you want to hear, to actually answer it. Am I the problem is not a simple question. It contains 3 different questions, and they need different answers. Question 1. Did I do something harmful? This is about behavior, specific actions, things you actually did or said that caused real harm to someone. Question 2. Am I a bad person? This is about character, and it is almost accurately inside a relationship where someone has been systematically telling you who you are. Question 3. Is my perception of reality distorted? This is the gaslighting question, whether what you see, remember, and feel has been so consistently contradicted that you can no longer trust your own experience. 3 different questions. They need 3 different answers. The honest answer to question 1 requires looking at specific behavior, not accumulated accusations, not his characterization of you, actual events, things you did, things you said, the effect they had. Most people who ask, "Am I the problem?" have genuine things to examine. The ROCD, the anxious accusations, the moments of losing control, those were real. They happened. Acknowledging that, without excusing what came in response, is not weakness. It is the thing that distinguishes someone with genuine flaws from someone with a personality disorder. You can have done genuine harm and still be in an abusive relationship. Both things can be true simultaneously. The question is not, was I perfect? The question is, was my behavior a cause or a response? Character is not determined by one person's assessment of you inside a relationship that depended on you believing the worst about yourself. Character is visible across all your relationships over time. Ask these questions. Do people in other areas of your life describe you the way he did? Were you this person before the relationship began? Do you hold yourself accountable, genuinely, not performatively, when you've done something wrong? People who ask, "Am I the problem?" and mean it and sit with it and examine it honestly are almost never the problem in the way they fear. Because that level of self-examination, that willingness to genuinely ask, is itself evidence of a conscience. This is the hardest question to answer from inside the relationship, because gaslighting works precisely by making you doubt the instrument you would use to answer it. 3 things to look at. 1. Were you this uncertain about your own perception before the relationship began? 2. Do the people who knew you before this relationship recognize the person you're describing? 3. What does your body say, separate from what your mind has been trained to say? The flinch, the tight chest, the relief when he left the room. The body kept score even when the mind was making excuses. Sign 1. You are asking the question at all. Narcissists don't ask this question. They assign blame. The very act of genuinely asking and meaning it is evidence of the conscience they lack. Sign 2. The self-doubt grew inside this relationship. You did not always feel this way about yourself. There was a before, and in that before you trusted your perception, your memory, and your worth. Sign 3. You hold yourself accountable, and they never do. You apologize, you examine, you work to do better. The asymmetry of accountability in the relationship, where one person does all the examining, is itself evidence of the dynamic. Sign 4. Your behavior was a response, not a pattern. The anxious accusations, the emotional reactions, the behavior you're not proud of, when did those start? What preceded them?
In most cases, they started inside this relationship as responses to specific things, as attempts to survive a dynamic that had no other exit. Sign 5. You want to do better. Not to be less blameworthy, not to win the argument, because you genuinely care about the effect you have on other people. That orientation toward other people, toward accountability, toward growth, is not what a narcissist looks like. This is the last video in the Real Stories series. 8 videos, 8 real stories, 8 questions that survivors carry. And if there is one thing I want you to take from all of them, it is this. The fact that you are asking these questions about your part, your perception, your character is evidence of who you are. People who don't have conscience don't ask if they have one. Your willingness to examine yourself, to hold yourself accountable, to want to do better, these are not flaws. They are exactly who you need to be going forward. In the relationship you just described, they were used against you. Going forward, they are yours. Thank you for being here for the entire series. The next series begins soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.